Welcome in is Ricky's Mailbag. What we do is we take your questions. You could send them in on social media. We'll take your questions. We'll answer them to the best of our ability. I'm on the afternoon show, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, with Connor Thomas right now and Sylvana Kelleher. You could join us 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. Here with Dylan McKinnon. Dylan's got the questions. Go, Dill.
This first one's from Lauren Brown. She was asking, what can the Phillies do to get more bullpen help?
Wow. Here's the problem. Let me give you the problem first. I think right now the teams that you're gonna go after bullpen help from are the teams that are gonna end up on the bottom, and nobody knows right now where they're gonna end up. So besides the Colorado Rockies, I don't think there's too many teams that you can go and try to trade with right now until closer to the trade deadline. Let's face it. You got a guy like Mason Miller, like the A's. I mean, first and foremost, it's going to take a small country to get him over here because there's a lot of time before he even becomes a free agent or arbitration eligible. So it's going to cost you a lot to go to get somebody like that. But the A's are not selling yet. Most teams in Major League Baseball aren't selling yet, unless they're trying to dump some contracts that the Phillies could pick up. That, or you have to wait for somebody to get released, and that's usually not the best thing to do either, because you're kind of caught up in a little bit of an issue. They could wait. They could look at some guys in AAA and see if they like what they're doing and maybe bring them up. But I mean, I hate to say this, but I think that the problem has to be fixed from within. I mean, Jordan Romano had been struggling. He threw all right out there in Chicago. He's a guy you got to fix yourself. You got to figure out what's wrong and fix yourself. And with Orion Kerkering right now, that sweeper is no longer sharp. It's kind of floating over the plate. He's not getting on top of the ball, so he's not getting a lot of bite to it, which is leading to him getting beat up a little bit in later innings, and that's a problem. Phillies do not have a right-hander deep in games right now.
Yeah, this next one is from Frank Grabowski. When will Crawford be called up?
I think Crawford's going to be a July type call up. And let me put it this way. This is as long as he's doing his job, as long as he's hitting the baseball, as long as he's playing well down in AAA, because if that falters, that means he hasn't made the adjustments yet. So the one thing you want to see from Crawford is good numbers down in AAA, some good at-bats down in AAA, and I mean, playing the part. Obviously, center field, he's got to be able to roam that position and take control of that position. So almost being a captain on the field is big for him. I guess if he explodes earlier, has a huge May, you never know. This could be one of those situations where bring the young kid up and see what he could do. And for me right now, I mean, the Phillies are battling that position in center field. So I think it's just a waiting game, and it's just a matter of time.
Okay, this next one is from Yo Man. Is it too early to make some changes in the outfield? Like Cedric Mullins from Baltimore, who really needs starting pitching.
I would absolutely love to get Cedric Mullins. I think a lot of teams would love to get him. Like I said, the cost is going to be up there. This is not going to be easy. The Phillies really don't want to give away their top prospects. Obviously, Aiden Miller, Andrew Painter, or Crawford. So that's a situation in which, okay, if you really want this guy, what do you have to give? And if you don't have enough to give, you're not going to get anybody. So that's going to be a question mark. I think a lot of people are getting a little tired of the center field position, the left field position on top of it. And it's becoming a problem. It's been a problem for 3 years. The Phillies haven't been able to fill that spot. And I don't see it getting any easier. I mean, it's easy to throw out names of guys that could play a little bit that you would want on your team. The hard part is actually getting that team to get rid of them and be able to part ways with them and give you a fair deal and a fair shake at actually bringing somebody else in. So I think the Phillies are going to be status quo for a little while until Crawford is ready to come up.
This next one's more of a statement than a question, but I'll read it. We can get your reaction. From Julian C. Trey Turner is the biggest bust for $300 million ever. The fact that contract was given. The rest of the roster is suffering because it's obvious they don't want to spend cents.
The expectations of Trey Turner are extremely high. I'll start with that. Is he living up to that contract right now? I don't think anybody would say that. He probably wouldn't say that right now. One thing that's really lacking is power. You get a guy that you would think, even if he was a 25 home run hitter, I think you'd be pretty satisfied with that. Right now, he's probably a 10 to 15 home run guy, and that's not exactly what you want from a guy that's making $30 million a year. The other side of that coin, his defense. Oh, my goodness. Where do you even start? You look at the defense last year in the 2024 season, he was all over the place. He was erratic. He was booting the ball all over the place. That, to me, was a problem in itself. And now this year, the one thing that's been very noticeable is routine plays to shortstop. How many times have we legitimately seen him throw balls in the dirt and Bryce Harper has to pick them up? Making decisions. He hasn't been very good at that either this year. I mean, at one point or another, are you going to really be able to keep him at shortstop, or do you move him? And we just had a question about outfield. He played center field when he first came up to the Nationals. I know he doesn't want to play there, but if you're not getting the job done at shortstop, wouldn't it benefit the Phillies to maybe take a flyer and throw him out in center field for a while and see if he kind of takes over the game in the outfield? He's got good speed. We know that. He can catch a ball. We know that. So that's half the battle. I don't think it would be a bad thing. You send him out to center field and let him play out there. At least he'd be able to roam. It's not a boring position. You're constantly moving, constantly on the fly trying to catch the ball, because anything you can get to is yours. And quite frankly, I don't know how much longer, even years-wise, he could stay at shortstop. I mean, sooner or later, the arm's going to get a little bit weaker at some point.
Okay, that leads nicely into our next question. Don asked, who is worse in the field right now, Trey Turner or Johan Rojas?
Oh, it's a toss-up. I think Rojas is just making bad decisions in his mind. I mean, number one, when you're the center fielder, you are the captain of the outfield, which means, I just said in the last question, you go after everything you can get and you take over. So if a ball's coming near you and you think you could get it, I got it. The other guy should peel off. That's number one. Number two, indecision. I mean, we've seen him on a couple fly balls, stutter step in, then kind of cruise control it and let it drop in front of him. Trust me, the pitchers don't like that. I will guarantee you that. Because a ball goes up in the air, the first thing you're thinking is, all right, we're good. That's an out. We're going to be in good shape. And then the next thing you know, you got base runners, and it makes it tougher on your starting pitcher. I think Rojas, I mean, when you think about it, when he first came up, he was getting everything. He was everywhere. His head was in the game. I feel like sometimes he gets a little spacey out in center field and just doesn't have that desire to go get the ball. He's got to be the guy who wants everything. I mean, you got to be a tiger out there. You got to see the ball up in the air. You got to go get the ball and not worry about everybody else. That's the bottom line of a center fielder.
There was a trend of a lot of questions where a lot of people were blaming Rob Thomson or Long, the hitting coach. So what are your thoughts on that? How much responsibility did Thomson and the coaching staff share for?
Let me start by saying I believe there's a lot of these hitters have their own private coaches. So if something's going wrong with their swing, they're going to go to the private coaches. Kevin Long's there every day, and he's trying. He goes through every player. He tries to get them back on track when they're not on track. He tends to let them know what they're looking for. He's a little bit analytical. He will go into what the computers say and what pitches to look for. But I mean, in all reality, think about this for a second. You have Kyle Schwarber, Castellanos, JT, Harper, and Turner, all making big-time money at the big league level. They've all hit the ball well at some point in their careers. Why in the world would you go and blame somebody else other than the players? Because that's who it's really on. I mean, when you go as deep as you want to go, you can blame the hitting coach, you can blame the manager. It doesn't matter. Those guys are the ones that got to go up there to perform. I know it's a cliche, but the manager's not bringing the bat up there with you. You're up there all by yourself. You got to figure out what's going on immediately and try to run with it. I know Harper's seeing a lot of breaking balls this year, so what do? You have to make that adjustment to the breaking ball. It's very much that simple. I look more at the players more than I do the coaches. These guys are veterans. They should have a good idea of what they need to do to get back on track. All right, there you have it. Ricky's Mailbag. Send in your questions. We'll be back probably the beginning of next week. Give you another report. Whatever you got for me, I'll try to answer it to the best of my abilities. You can catch me on the afternoon show, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, on 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. I want to thank you guys for watching, listening in. I want you to like, subscribe, do what you have to do to kind of stay on focus with us. Also, we also have plenty of other content that goes on here on YouTube. So go to that, like that, subscribe to that. And also you can catch us on the afternoon show, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia.